You've just inherited a masterpiece, a flawlessly restored vintage sports car. It's sitting in your driveway, gleaming in the sun, a perfect machine, entirely yours. But the previous owner left out one detail. They gave you the title, but they never taught you how to operate a manual transmission, how to listen to the gears, or handle the steering when the road gets slick. You're left sitting in the driver's seat, going nowhere. In the glove box, you find old photo albums filled with pictures of the grand cross-country road trips the previous owner took in this car. You're stranded in your own driveway, staring at someone else's adventures. Legally, the entire legacy belongs to you, but without the capability to drive it, that car is nothing more than a very expensive driveway ornament. These same mechanics of possession versus capability define global power. During recent diplomatic summits between the US and China, negotiators brought up a concept that explains why some empires thrive while others stall. It's called the Thucydides trap. Observed by the ancient Greek historian, it describes the inevitable friction when an emerging power threatens an established one. The established power often starts to rely on its reputation and its history. Meanwhile, the rising power remains disciplined, aggressive, and forced to adapt to survive. The dynamics that govern global superpowers also dictate the survival of a family business or a local corporation. In any enterprise, the danger begins the moment leadership confuses the curation of past success with the actual capability required to navigate the future. Think of an organization as an organ inside a larger body. If that organ hoards blood and oxygen only for itself, the body eventually fails, and the organ dies with it. This means an enterprise secures its own future only by contributing to the health of the society it inhabits. To maintain this balance, an enterprise must constantly tune its internal structure to withstand external shifts in what we might call temperature and pressure, the changing markets and technologies of reality. Most leadership transitions fail right here. The founders hand over the physical buildings and the bank accounts, but they fail to teach the successors the rigorous internal discipline needed to maintain that structural integrity. Without that mastery of self and discipline, the new generation inherits a massive machine that buckles the moment the external environment becomes hostile. To prevent this collapse, the Greek philosophical tradition offers 4 specific principles for survival: discipline, moderation, rhythm, and autopoiesis. Autopoiesis is the ability of a system to organically renew and rebuild its own engine from within. It is the difference between a static object and a living organism that repairs itself while it runs. But there is a specific tragedy in what the author calls the Greek enterprise. They argue that the culture which invented these blueprints has largely stopped using them, choosing instead to spend its energy dusting off the albums of its own history. When an environment stops offering the high pressure needed for growth, the most capable heirs leave. They seek out foreign enterprises where they can actually apply discipline and evolve. This creates a melancholic cycle where children go abroad to grow, only returning home to nurse their parents in their old age. So by abandoning the hard work of self-renewal to curate the past, a culture becomes a nursing home with a nice view, a museum maintained by outsiders who are more interested in the ruins than the people. The irony is that while the originators admire the blueprints, rival powers are currently using them to manage the fates of the world. They are the ones actually applying discipline and rhythm to build the future. Curating a display case is easy. Executing brilliant ideas under today's pressure is grueling. Declaring your business a definitive success is often the first step towards failure. It creates a comfort that blinds you to the shifting realities outside your walls. Falling in love with the memory of your own brilliance is a trap. It leads you to build a monument to the past, while your competitors are building a path to the future. There is an ancient proverb that serves as the antidote to this complacency. Along with Athena, move your hand too. It suggests that while you can rely on wisdom or the legacy of those before you, you are still required to take autonomous physical action. Wisdom is your co-pilot, but you must press the clutch and steer the car. Examine the organizations you belong to and the lessons you are teaching. A legacy that only offers a beautifully bound photo album of the past will always leave the next generation stranded in the driveway. True inheritance is the capacity to survive the pressure of the road ahead.